I'm out the yo. I'm out the door. Island Coast, why's it the old? I see yo 3. What up, though? It's that nigga mom, man. We about to react to Band, the bitter side of Michael Sugar Ray Richardson, Stunted Growth. Now, the reason I'm reacting to this is because today, I was having, a conversation with my co-worker, man. He an older man. He probably, I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he in his 60s. And, he brought up this guy, you know what I'm saying? So I just reacted to another video, but I was mentioning stuff that he mentioned to me. Like, yeah, this guy was essentially Jordan before Jordan. Like, he was on the offense and on the defense. He was dunking, laying up, and all that shit. So the last video, I wasn't really too convinced of that, but I can see the layup package being one of the things that Jordan probably adopted from Michael Richardson. So before we get into this, like and subscribe so we hit the 100K today. But we're going right into this. Stunted Growth, Band, the bitter side of Michael Sugar Ray Richardson. And we just going to get into other basketball players besides Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to appreciate these other people that done dedicated their lives to, entertaining us with basketball.
Telling me about all of this incredible talent because the off-court demons
never allowed him to play to his potential.
6'5", Michael Ray Richardson.
Being a human being, we all make mistakes. I was one that made a huge mistake, but I was able to bounce back and put my life back in order.
Okay, he's still alive. That's what's up.
Michael Sugar Ray Richardson, born April 11th, 1955. Before LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird, there was Michael Ray Richardson. A name that may not be too familiar to you, but in the late 70s and 80s, he was seen as not only the next Nick Great, but the next big superstar in all the NBA. He was 6'5",
that's some Jordan
explosive,
shit.
never got tired on offense or defense, worked extremely hard, and had big game spirit that you couldn't teach. He also had two different sides to him that continuously got in each other's way and took away his potential.
Okay.
Let Hubie Brown tell it, he's tired of hearing about Richardson's potential if he was no longer capable of recreating it presently. The biggest hurdle for Richardson at the time was one you've heard me tell time and time again about the influence drugs had on some players in the 80s that wound up taking tremendous talents from the game or life too soon. In 1986, he was banned from the NBA for violating the league's drug policy after being found to have been using for a third time. To put that into perspective, he was an all-star just the season before, after numerous suspensions from the NBA for drugs, rehabs, and relapses, and making 3 all-star games prior, making him the most decorated player to have been banned from the league. Many players that's played against Sugar Ray has came out after and spoke on how good Richardson could have been, and it always ends with that 2-letter word, if. If only he had his father around to guide him. If he wasn't drafted to a city like New York, one of the meccas for cocaine in the 80s. If he didn't have such an impressionable personality and desire to please the ones around him in order to receive their praise. If only he realized the talent he had.
Yeah, and he hitting motherfucker. He hitting whoever narrating, hitting you hard with some shit. If. Y'all can't live in that if, man. Yeah, obviously he made a decision, but some of y'all live in the if for real.
Position he was in, the countless chances he was given, and the way his career and life would be viewed in the future by people writing and recounting stories about the things he did or didn't do. For the following reasons, Michael Ray will most likely go down as one of the biggest what-ifs taken down by drugs and the inability to get out of his own way.
So my man was right. Like, my man was definitely right about what he was saying. That worked.
him a potential Hall of Fame career. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man.
I did want to look at some highlights, but he ain't obviously got too many highlights because he was banned kind of soon in the league, and he didn't accumulate enough highlights, especially back in the day where it was limited broadcasting to, you know what I'm saying, basketball.
Sugar Ray was a name given to Michael because of how sweet his moves were for his time. He was born in Texas but moved to Denver, Colorado, where he attended high school and fell in love with the game. He always thought he could one day make it to the NBA and finally buy his mother a house. The problem was he was the only one who saw that at a young age. His sisters would beat him constantly, but Michael would come back time and time again until he could win. By his senior year, he only acquired one Division I scholarship to the University of Montana, where he was the only black player on the team. He became a star in college, spending all 4 years and improving to a point as a senior he averaged 24
That's
points.
gotta be crazy though. You the only black player on the team? You the token of the team. Then you flourish because you know what?
7 rebounds. Stunt number 1, the twinkle and the devil.
He had a twinkle in his eye and he had the devil in his eye at the same time. And sometimes one didn't know what the other was going to do.
In life, we'll all have crucial choices to make, and depending on those decisions, our future is mapped out. For better or for worse. You meeting a lady, having a child with her too soon, only to realize you two aren't a great fit, is 18 legal years, plus the rest of your life, reaping the fruits of that decision. You having a bad attitude to your coaches because you've been misled into thinking your talents are bigger than the game. Partaking in drugs and alcohol as a young person, not aware of its future effects. I could go on and on. If there was anything other than talent that could work against Michael Ray Richardson, it did. And usually because of decisions he made that turned out to be bad ones. On the other side, he was drafted in 1978 as the 4th overall pick out of Montana and was finally able to buy his mother a house. 2 picks later, the Celtics selected Larry Bird. He walked into a Willis Reed coached Knicks team looking sure to have a great start to a star-studded career, learning under a Knick great. 14 games into the season, Reed was fired and replaced by Red Holzman, who was notorious for not playing rookies and didn't take well to Richardson, who also shunned Holzman.
I ain't gonna hold you up. No disrespect to the family, but this motherfucker look evil. Of course he's saying some shit. It look like he ain't like niggas or nothing. It ain't like look like he like flowers. That motherfucker look like a witch. No, some shit off Harry Potter. Like he casted a spell, for real.
Not playing rookies and didn't take well to Richardson, who also shunned Holzman after he began to lose minutes.
It's in
He
real
averaged
time,
6
not just
points
that
and 3
picture.
rebounds as a rookie, and by the end of the season, Knicks fans braced themselves for most likely having drafted another bust. They were sadly mistaken. Richardson returned the next season and made the All-Star team and led the league in assists and steals by season's end. He'd make the All-Star 3 straight seasons beginning in year 2 as his averages got better and better. But off the floor, Michael was creating a world for himself that began as innocent but turned into something he couldn't control. He'd do things like stay out all night after 2-a-day
Partying
practices
too much,
and
yeah.
plant himself deep in the New York nightlife, picking up new friend after new friend that stroke his addicted.
So they saying New York, nigga, he possibly could have won a ring, but he got, went the wrong route.
Personality, one that loved the spotlight, focus, and praise on him. That insecurity led to his second growth stunt that changed his life. Stunt number 2, ship be sinking.
And, where's this team going? And I remember him looking at me and saying, the ship be sinking.
A quote from Michael when asked by reporters why the Knicks were playing so poorly. During the 81-82 season, Sugar Ray began with playing at a high level. Over the course of the season, his play began to worsen and no one could understand why. Michael could care less, because after the game, there was supposed to be the party of the year downtown and something brand new to get into. By the end of the season, Holtzman was fired and Hubie Brown took over as coach. Brown tried to instill discipline in Michael Ray, using a strong hand with him, one that didn't praise his ego like everyone had been at that point, and it backfired. Hubie Brown realized Michael's poor play was the result of his off-court demons, as he calls them. Sugar Ray wouldn't last very long after Brown's hiring, as he was traded to Golden State before the 82-83 season. He had gotten so deep into the New York lifestyle and nightlife that he couldn't believe he was being traded and refused to show up to his new job.
Nigga tried to save his life. Dude, like, hey man, we gotta move you away from this shit. But it's a daughter at the end of the day, man. And I'm not saying that was his mindset. Like, I kind of said that, but like, really think about it, it probably wasn't his mindset. He like, nigga, we trying to win. We can't win with no dope heads. Get out of here.
Instead, he went back to Denver and held out until the Warriors sent coach Al Attles that renegotiated his contract and promised a fresh start. He showed up, but it wouldn't be long before he got into the drugs and the Golden State nightlife as well. He missed practice, had arguments with coaches, teammates, that made the Michael Ray experiment feel like a failure. That too wouldn't last very long, as he was being traded again after 33 games to Larry Brown and the New Jersey Nets. Drugs killed his career in stop number 2. Back to the New York area, he was back up to his old ways, until Larry Brown took him to rehab, where he admitted to freebasing a few times a week. On the court, his play was suffering, averaging a modest 20 points and 5 assists. Larry Brown left after the 82-83 season. Richardson began being found at crack houses in the city and using more than ever. Since then, there would be up to 3 check-ins and check-out of rehabs, each time saying he was finally clean. He wasn't. He was back in the New York streets, even reporting he was being kidnapped at one point that actually never happened. He was banned by the NBA, and the Nets waived him during the 83-84 season.
Damn, they banned him. Like, we ain't about to have your drug addict ass in here. This crazy though, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad my co-worker put me up on this, man. I hate to see shit like this happen. I'm glad he turned his life around later on in life, and it probably was necessary, you feel me, for him not to be a multi-millionaire for the rest of his life. Sometimes you need to struggle to be able to withstand pushback.
Before reinstating him after the drug policy was changed to a 3-strike rule. Stunt number 3, 3 strikes. You know what that means. Michael took rehab seriously after being allowed a second chance to play in the NBA and was looking like himself once again, even taking his team to the playoffs where they defeated Julius Erving and the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round.
That's something.
Michael averaged 20 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds that series. During the 84-85 season, he managed to make the All-Star team, averaging 20 points, league-leading 3 steals, and 8 assists, playing all 82 games. He was the comeback player of the year.
All 82.
It seemed like he was finally on the right path. New contract, new opportunity, new child, until December of the 85-86 season, Michael disappeared from the team for 3 days without warning. He was sent to rehab again when they did find him, making it now 2 strikes against Michael, according to the league's 3-strike rule, implemented, some say, because of Michael.
Yeah.
2 months after, returning from a road trip February 25th, 1986, and NBA security Mike was familiar with was waiting and greeted him by saying, "You know what that means." Richardson knew his time in the league was done, and he was right. Now strike three, he was banned from the league days later.
I saw how, our mama was really, really,
But it's crazy though. Even going through that, he aged well, bro. He aged quite well. You know what I'm saying?
that I had to get out of it.
He was actually reinstated in 1988, but decided to stay overseas and continue his play. He played until he was 47 years old, as he finally began to realize what he had lost. All in all, Richardson got as much chances in life as anyone. Mentally, he just wasn't equipped for those times, and influence took him over. He was an unbelievable player that once had Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas shook to play against him. He could have been just as good as those guys, but like he says, that's something the world will never know. Salute to Michael Ray. I hope he's doing well, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth.
Yeah, and that hooping kept him in shape though, cause like I say, he aged well, man. But that's a wild story there, man. That's wild, man. You know, my condolences to all the people whose careers died from just giving up. I'm drinking, but alcoholism may have been crack, freebasing, like him. It's sad, you know what I'm saying? But no, he actually still got to continue his dream, so it's not all bad, but like at the end of the day, I was just, you know, sending my condolences to those people. But with that being said, man, he looked like he was a great player from that time. And Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, I think I did hear Isaiah Thomas say something about him. And Magic Johnson for sure. It's proven that he was a great. He just couldn't hang in there, you know, due to the pressures and the ills of the world. You know he couldn't survive in those circles, and it probably over there was a different culture, you know, than fucking with these basketball stars over there. These basketball stars over here. These basketball stars over here probably was all into drugs and cocaine and shit and doing all that. And over there, they probably was up there just having family feasts type shit. And he was like, damn, it's different. And it probably brought him down to earth to wake him up and keep him away from drugs. No telling. But with that being said, like and subscribe so we hit that 100K today. Stay peaceful, productive, and positive. It's that nigga Mom, and much love. I'm out there. Yo. I'm out the door. Island coast, why's it the old? I see your 3 eyes is closed. Consistency, your conditioning, I suppose. Children mimicking imagery they've been exposed to. Frequencies given from symphonies on radio too. Vibrating energy subconsciously, but you consciously do when you move.